What's up? What's up? This your boy Mark Curry from Hanging with Mr. Cooper. But you know what? Now I'm hanging with the homie Popo, politicking. You know how he do. Self-help hip-hop. That's right. Say that again. Say that fast. Self-help hip-hop. That's what's up. He representing San Diego, Oceanside, anything with a beach he representing. That's right. He's trying to preserve hip-hop culture. You know what I mean? I like that because we need to preserve it because pretty soon the youngsters ain't going to even know what's up. You know what I mean? He's also introducing future stars. So get at him. He got a podcast. He's deep. He's Popo. You know how you do it. PoPolitickin. You spell that, that's P. How we feeling? Peace out.
PoPolitickin.com.
Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Make sure you go to Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, type in PoPolitickin. This summer I interviewed since 2008. 1-2-1-2 Place to Be with Romina. She's the founder of the Queens of the Underworld. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no doubt. I've been following you for a little bit now, so you're doing something cool. So I just want you to kind of tell the listeners about what you do and your story. So I'm gonna let you lead the show today. So I'm gonna ask questions as you go.
You know what? And as a little short stack, I got control issues, so I'll go with it. I started Queens of the Underworld about 3 years ago because I felt adult industry workers, hoes, cam girls, dominatrixes, anyone in the adult industry needed coping skills. And since I was in the adult industry most of my life, I never found that anyone really gave me guidelines on mental health, on feeling good, on boundaries and self-soothing and stuff like that. That's such a marginalized group of people that is judged by everybody. So I started it. I started taking a bunch of trainings, bunch of trauma trainings. I got meditation certifications, and I knew that I was going somewhere when I was interviewed by Playboy, like the first 3 months. And I was like, oh, God damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Playboy. So I was like, okay, I'm onto something. I really am. So that just motivated me to get more trainings and do more work. And now it's gotten pretty good. I'm really proud of it.
How did you even get it? Like where was you at when you even decided to get into meditation and all that stuff?
I've always been into meditation and yoga and stuff like that, even when I was getting loaded, getting high. So, and I knew that worked for me. High anxiety, PTSD, a lot of trauma. My ACE score is 9, right? I know you know about the adverse childhood experiences, right? So mine's a 9. So my level of trauma is really up there, much like most adult industry workers. And I just knew that I needed to feel good, and I took whatever I could get, and that was like drugs and yoga mixed together at the same time. And then as I got clean, right, it was just the drugs, but it was just the yoga and the mindfulness, but that still wasn't enough. I needed purpose now, you know.
So what are some of your things you teach?
Let's see. I teach all kinds of stuff. My sessions are solutions based, because I'm not a psychologist, right? So there's a limit to my scope of practice, right? I don't want to hurt anyone. So what I teach is immediate coping skills, mindfulness, a lot of EFT, right? DBT style kind of exercises, self-soothing, stuff like that, distraction techniques with clients, a lot of girls.
I would say, who are some of your like favorites that you like to study? Like, you have any teachers you study?
You know what? I have so many. My favorite one, right? I have 2, and they're Buddhist, right? But they're just different. One is Josh Porta, and he's a neuroscientist. It's like with a master's in, I don't even know his name, Josh Porta. He has a podcast, teaches so much about the central nervous system. And another one is his friend, Noah Levine, who has a Buddhist meditation center here in I'm in Long Beach, but he has one in Santa Monica, and he has these Buddhist retreats. I mean, I think everything is a teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
But right now, those are my two favorites. Guru Jagat, who's a Kundalini teacher in Santa Monica also. So I'm really into the spiritual, but I don't like it like all that love and light bullshit. It's a little too fluffy for me, you know what I'm saying? So I like to mix that spiritual shit, but with reality and incorporate that. I call it all my lessons Ho edition. So spirituality, Ho edition.
Then like you don't got to say nobody's name or nothing, but can you like just give us a example of some of your coaching sessions? It can be like, you know, not exact, but just an example.
Okay, so let's say I go, okay, what was the reason for your call today? And you're gonna tell me, I don't know, what are you going through? Let me give you a session right now. Tell me, do you got a problem? I can fix it.
No, I ain't got no problem, but I mean.
No, mentiroso. So let's say that one of my queens is like, earlier today, she was having trouble establishing boundaries in the lap dance group. So this beautiful Puerto Rican girl from Jersey, right? She's a baby stripper in her 20s. And so she did a session with me. I'm like, okay, get your paper, get your pen. What is the problem? And she's like, well, when I'm doing lap dances, you know, guys put their fingers in me and I don't know how to say no. And I don't know what to do when guys pull their dicks out. So I teach them boundaries. I teach them ways to say no to protect themselves from further traumatizing their life. You know what I mean? I mean, it's so random and varied. I remember once a girl hired me for a 911. She was up in the Momo smoking a joint with a trick and he robbed her. And then she had an anxiety attack because her folks was going to beat her ass because she, you know, her quota was gone. So I had to talk her down from her anxiety attack so she can go back on the street and make that money back up. So, I mean, it just varies. And they're so unique. There's never a boring day, ever. You can't even imagine.
Yeah, I like that. It's tight. So I mean, but even that's the thing about it. Like, how can women create boundaries like that when they're in that field? Because I know, like, when they're in that industry, like, you know, most time it's a lot of abuse and stuff. So how can they create boundaries?
Well, I mean, look, I'm 5 foot tall. So how tall are you?
Like almost 6 foot.
Okay, so if you were to attack me, there's obviously a limitation to what I'm capable of doing to protect myself, correct? Right. But there are some things here and there, like most trauma and PTS victims, as you know, have a higher level, are hypersensitive. So they, you know, right, wide amygdala, so they're more in tune with warning signs, red flags. So I teach them about that. So I guess paying attention to red flags is really important. And that's a misconception that if you're in the adult industry, you can't have boundaries, right? I tell them not all money is good money, right? There's a difference. I mean, of course, there's the case system with like survival street workers on the bottom and dominatrixes and porn on the top. So the higher up the ladder, right, the more privilege you have, right? So let's say you're a dope fiend hoe, you're pregnant on the street and you need that fix. You're going to have less boundaries than the dominatrix that lives in the penthouse. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to be able to establish your boundaries in a different way. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely anybody can have boundaries. Anybody can have boundaries even in this industry.
And then do you talk to the men too, or you just talk only to the women?
I've had pimps hire me to teach their hoes boundaries and anxiety relief. Absolutely. Because I don't hate pimps. I love pimps.
Okay, dope. So what's next for you? What else are you working on? I hear like you working on a book and a TV show and a movie and all that.
No, I'm not doing that. No, I you know what? it's the underworld. I'm not trying to be popular. If I become popular with this shit, then I'm doing something wrong. You know what I mean? I want to keep it just for my community. I'm not trying to do a talk show on hoes. I mean, it would be I don't know. I don't know. What I'm trying to do actually is I'm CSEC certified, so that's engagement skill. I have to always read it. Engagement skills for working with commercially sexually exploited children. So, one thing is that I don't tolerate is exploitation of children. So probably next year, I'm going to go into treatment centers and group homes and stuff and talk to underage kids that have been trafficked, teaching them about boundaries and stuff like that. But with my queens, I'm doing great. I live at the beach. I have sessions all day. Word of mouth is spreading,
Yeah, I would say you was kind of mentioning because you were saying it's like levels. I would say, what you think about that Epstein stuff? Because it seemed like that's about to be something big. And that seemed like that was with some top people.
So, yeah, and now that French lady, his side chick,
They say she was the groomer.
She was the groomer. And, it's not okay for anyone to fuck with a kid under any circumstance. You know what I'm saying? But what did they do? They sought out impoverished, vulnerable, which anyone under 18 is vulnerable anyway. But they specifically targeted abused, broken homes, poor little girls. If you're already traumatized and over-sexualized and you're living in poverty and you're razzled and dazzled by these mansions and these cars and all this stuff, the answer is pretty easy. You know what I mean?
Are you teaching, like when you talk to the women, are you trying to tell them to get off the game, or are you just teaching them how to kind of elevate themselves?
No, I never tell them that. If they want to, then I absolutely provide exit plans. But I accept everybody where they're at. I think that's why I'm doing okay, is because, like I said before, I don't hate pimps. I understand the need for a hoe to have a pimp, right? Some people need that union, that support, right? And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. I actually have a podcast episode called Guidelines on Choosing, is when I talk to a beautiful little intelligent hoe, and she told me how she picked her folks. If they want out, I tell them what to do and I give them suggestions and stuff like that. But accepting people where they're at, I'm no one to tell anyone what to do. I just help you deal with where you're at. If I hated pimps also, if I was telling them to get away from their folks, or if I hated pimps, I wouldn't have their folks' approval to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? And let's say there is that one little girl or that one hoe that is not happy with her folks and she needs to get out. She would be ashamed to talk to me because she's got folks. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep it very open, no judgment. I also refuse to be a court-mandated reporter. So everything stays between me and that queen and God.
And then I was saying, so like, I be trying to figure out, why is it they like in Vegas and stuff, you can have bunny ranches, or even a lot of these sex parlors, with the Asian stuff go down, but then it seemed like with like a lot of black males, they're always the ones getting arrested mostly.
Because they're black males.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if people know, but that shit be popping. Asians, they got this shit on lock.
Yeah. And, you can't be black in America and survive and expect any respect, treatment in any area of the life. You know what I'm saying? Statistically, being black in America, you're just getting it off from all over the place. So more jail, hoes, black hoes in jail get more time. They don't get let out. Everything. So just don't get caught. Just don't get caught. Just don't get caught.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of merchandise you want to talk about. I saw your merchandise page.
Yeah, I have some hoe gear, some motivational hoe gear. I have all kinds of like beach towels, and all my art is drawn by hoes and strippers. So everything that you see is made by someone in the industry.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of your interests?
My interests, working. I like to work. I like to make money. I like to ride my bike in between sessions just to ground myself and, you know what I'm saying, get settled again. I like going to the beach. I like going hiking. I just like, you know, since I'm out of the life, I really appreciate calmness and just grooving, you know what I mean? I just like simplicity. And I'm old too, so as you get older, you know, shit slows down. So I just like easygoing stuff.
And what made you get out the life?
I was old. I mean, I just quit. I was one of those that I quit dancing only 2 years ago, and I'm going to be 46 in September. So I just loved it, you know what I mean? Until I didn't. And I mean, I was taking trainings in the last couple years of my dancing, and I was doing okay. It's just, you know, there's a limit.
Do you have any you had any close calls in your life?
You know what? I've been really blessed.
Good.
Yeah, I've always been really street smart and sharp and really crazy. So, and I'm 5 foot, so I don't know. I've just been very, very blessed. I've always used my voice. Nothing really crazy. And it's a miracle if that's happened. I was usually the perpetrator in any kind of situation.
Yeah, I saw your live the other day. I want you to share your story. I want you to share a story. You was talking about know your worth and how you charged the guy $50 to sit by you. Yeah, I want you to talk about that a little bit.
So when guys go into, I just got banged, so I'm trying to get comfortable with it. So when I was dancing, like I was just fed up of it after a while, and I just started being more dominant. I mean, I've always been very dominant anyway, but I was sitting at the bar. It was like my lunch break. I needed to take some time, and I was eating, and some guys like starts trying to talk to me, and he tries to sit down. I'm like, what are you trying to do right now? He's like, I just want to sit and talk to you. I go, well, I'm eating. He goes, so I can't talk to you? And I said, well, there's a sitting next to me watching me eat fee. And he's like, what? And the bartender, she was like, she knew, everybody knew how I was. You know, and she's like, Romina. And I'm like, there's a motherfucking sitting next to me watching me eat on my motherfucking lunch break fee. And he's like, he goes, how much is that? I go, $50. And then the bartender goes, what? And he said, and it was only $50 fucking dollars. He sits next to me. I said, okay, thank you. And I start eating, and I ignore the motherfucker. So, I mean, I used to have a lot of fun. I'm really good. For whatever reason, I'm very good at it. You know what I'm
but
saying?
then I like how you said men will pay for anything. And I think, I mean, that shit is true. Like, we pay for anything. They pay, look at that feet and all that dumb shit.
Well, and you know what? There's a website now where one of my queens does it. This bitch is really pretty. She's got hair down to her ass. She used to be a Playboy model, right? Her handle is Princess Punch Your Face. You can give her a call. I mean, you can send her a message for an out caller to see her videos. She gets paid. One of her little gigs is she gets paid to ignore people. So dudes will be paying money just watching her ignore them. Like from the back. They don't even get to see her face. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's such I mean, there's so many little side hustles in so many ways that you can make money without even having to do hoe shit.
Yeah, always one question I ask the listeners, I know it's not a lot of money, but still, it's just for people that's listening. What's a good way to flip $1,000 right now?
What's a good way to flip $1,000?
Yep.
I am not good with money and flipping money. I just stack and I don't spend.
Well, that's people say that too. That's an answer. People have been saying, if you don't lose it, then you can just keep it. Somebody said that.
I've never been much of a gambler. You know what I'm saying? I really haven't. I just like to keep, money. I mean, I work hard. especially making money. And I'm a square bitch now. So I'm making money. You know, my sessions are $65 an hour, and it takes a long time to make, you know what I'm saying? To make regular money. Like if I take pictures with a client, it's $1,400 an hour. So my old ass still does that a couple times a month. So when you compare whole life to reality, there's no wonder why so many people stay in it for so long. $1,400 in 1 hour just to take some butt ass naked pictures. You know what I'm saying? We are so spoiled. We are so spoiled.
And then, do you have, you already gave us some stories, but do you have any interesting stories that you want to share with the listeners? It could be one story, any story.
Let's see, a story. Okay. One time, many years ago, my friend Devin says, do you want to dance at a private party at the Beverly Hills Bungalows? And I said, okay. So I walk in there, and I had a baby yellow 79 Coupe de Ville. Her name was that bitch. She was so pretty. And I pull up to the Beverly Hills Hotel Bungalows, and I walk in, and there's Heavy D and the boys, Dr. Dre, Mike Tyson, and I'm like, and it was like an orgy. And I'm name dropping. This is 20 years ago. Who gives a shit? And I walk in there, and I'm like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like Caligula. It was like everybody was fucking. It was crazy. And I didn't hook up with anybody that night. It was just too much going on for me. And I left. I went outside, and I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of here? And I saw this guy. His name was E-Bone. And he ended up being my sugar daddy. So E-Bone, if you're listening to this, I miss your ass. And I want you back. So I asked him, I go, how the fuck do I get out of here? That shit it's just too much for me in there. And he told me how to get out, and I gave him my number. But it was some wild shit when, you know, back in the day. Huh. So I got to meet Mike Tyson and Dr. Dre and Heavy D. None of these kids even know who Heavy D is these days. You know what I'm saying? But it was a big deal back then, you know?
I say, are you a fan of like hip hop and R&B?
Of course.
Who's some of your people you like?
Oh my God. My son's father is a B-boy from Brooklyn. Okay. So all of that stuff, you know, Digital Underground. I mean, I like all that stuff. Just the fear. I even, you know, I don't even know. But a lot of dance hall, anything really that's just groovy and old, right?
All right. What would you like to say to your fans and supporters?
To my supporters, I love you kids so much. Not all good money is not all money is good money. What else? Respect hoes. Stop trying to nickel and dime hoes. Right? They're offering services that you cannot get from your girlfriend or your wife, so just tip them. For it.
Yeah, I know,
right? That's what the hoes are there for. Right? That's what hoes are there for, to do the stuff that your significant other thinks is nasty. They keep your secrets, and they don't want to be with you. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate them. They're doing all the shit that your wife won't do.
But don't some try to cross the line? What if like the customers do try to get with you? You just don't do that?
What do you mean?
Like let's say like the trick ends up wanting to get with the girl.
I mean, of course it happens.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It never happened to me. I was just asking. That's what I see. All right. Well, say thanks for coming through politicking with me.
That was very quick. Okay. Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you do. That's really cool. It's helping people out. You gotta keep doing that.
Okay, I will. Send all your hoes my way.
All right. What's your social media?
It's Queen's Got Skills.
The PoPolitickin Show is brought to you by Audible. With over 180,000 titles to choose from, Audible is great for any continuous learner wanting to grow and expand their knowledge and insight. Go to www.audibletrial.com/POaudio and get an audiobook of your choice free with a 30-day trial. After the trial, your paid membership will begin at $14.95 per month. With your membership, you will receive 1 credit every month, good for an audiobook on Audible. Cancel before your trial ends and you will not be charged. So go to www.audibletrial.com/POaudio and download a free book by Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Napoleon Hill, Les Brown, Damon John, and more. Always remember that knowledge is power.